In the beginning, there was nothing. No earth, no sky, no sea, no stars. Only chaos, the boundless void, silent, shapeless, infinite. A realm without time, without place, without breath. Yet, even within that emptiness, there stirred a strange potential, a quiet tension waiting to awaken. And from that timeless abyss, the first beings emerged, the ancient primordials, the architects of all that would ever be. First came Gaia, the earth, enduring, fertile, and vast. Her body became the soil, the mountains, and the valleys. From her came the whisper of wind through leaves and the steady pulse of the world beneath our feet. She was the mother of everything that would draw breath. Then, from the deep places of being came Tartarus, a pit beneath all things, dark and endless, a prison before there were prisoners, a punishment before there were sins. It was the shadow cast by creation itself. And from chaos also arose Eros, the oldest love. Not the tender affection of mortals, but the force of union and creation. Eros was the spark that drew matter to matter, heart to heart, idea to form. Through Eros, the void learned how to yearn. Next came Erebus, the embodiment of darkness, and Nyx, the goddess of night. Together, they wove the veil of twilight, the soft shroud between day and dream. Their union brought forth Aether, the bright upper air, and Hemera, the shining day. And with their birth, light began to chase shadow across the face of creation. For the first time, there was contrast, light and dark, above and below, beginning and end. The universe had found its rhythm, its pulse, its song. But Gaia, the earth, was lonely. She looked upward at the emptiness above her, a vast silence pressing down upon her endless form. So she created a companion, Ouranos, the sky. Majestic, star-filled, and boundless, he rose above her and covered her completely. His silver breath touched her mountains. His clouds became her veil. Together, they formed the first true union, earth and sky, forever entwined. Their embrace gave birth to the first generation of divine beings, the Titans, children of immense strength and radiant form, 6 sons and 6 daughters, each reflecting a facet of creation. Oceanus, whose currents encircled the world, Coeus, the axis of knowledge and inquiry, Krios, the keeper of constellations and direction, Hyperion, the father of the sun, moon, and dawn, Iapetus, the forger of mortality and human destiny, and Cronus, the youngest and most cunning, whose calm eyes hid ambition like a knife beneath velvet. Their sisters were equally powerful. Thea, the radiant goddess of divine sight and shining light. Rhea, gentle, nurturing, the future mother of gods. Themis, embodiment of order and sacred law. Mnemosyne, the memory of the world, keeper of stories. Phoebe, bright and wise, her mind like the silver glow of the moon. And Tethys, mother of all rivers and seas, whose waters nourished the earth. Together, they filled the cosmos with form and substance. Yet Gaia's womb was not yet still. From her union with Ouranos came new beings, children of unimaginable power and form. First came the Cyclops, mighty craftsmen, each with a single blazing eye in the center of their foreheads. Their gaze shone like the heart of the sun, and from their hands would come thunderbolts and weapons fit for gods. Then came the Hycontocheers, beings of such vastness that even the Titans trembled before them. Each possessed 100 hands and 50 heads, their strength capable of shaking the very bones of the earth. But when Ouranos looked upon these children, he felt not pride, but horror. Their shapes were monstrous, their power uncontrollable. In his fear, he betrayed them. One by one, he seized the Cyclops and the Hycontocheers and buried them deep within Tartarus. He pressed them into the darkness beneath Gaia's skin, far from the light of the world. Their screams echoed in her depths, and every tremor upon the earth was their sorrow made sound. Gaia's heart broke. She had birthed beauty and strength, but her children had been made prisoners within her own body. Her grief turned to rage. Her pain became a plan. She swore vengeance upon the sky who had wronged her, and in the deep places of the earth she began to craft a weapon, a blade of adamantine, unbreakable and sharp as divine will itself. When the blade was complete, she called her Titan sons and daughters to her and spoke.
My children, your father has cast your brothers into darkness. He has caged them in the depths of my being. Who among you will stand by my side? Who will punish Ouranos and end his tyranny?
But fear silenced the Titans. None dared to rise against their father. None but one. Cronus, the youngest, stepped forward. His face was calm, his eyes cold and steady.
Mother, I will do it. Give me the sickle, and I shall free you from his cruelty.
Gaia placed the weapon in his hands and told him what must be done. When night fell, Ouranos descended to lay with Gaia once more. But the earth was no longer welcoming. From the shadows, Cronus and his brothers, save Oceanus, who would take no part, rose in ambush. They seized their father, the vast and endless sky, and held him fast against the earth. Cronus lifted the sickle high, and with a single stroke he cut his father from her. The blade sang through the air, and the heavens bled. The stars themselves seemed to cry out. The sky recoiled, torn from the world it once embraced. And in that moment, the universe changed forever. From the blood of Ouranos that fell upon Gaia's body, new beings arose. The Erinyes, or Furies, dark-winged spirits of vengeance born to punish crimes against kin. The giants, towering and fierce, embodiments of divine wrath. And the Meliae, nymphs of the ash tree, destined to mother the race of mortal warriors. Then, from the severed flesh that fell into the sea, the waters began to foam and churn. From that foam, radiant and eternal, emerged Aphrodite, goddess of love and desire. She stepped ashore upon the island of Cyprus, shining with the beauty of dawn. And from her came the gentle seductions of the heart and the endless hunger for union. The sky above fell silent. Ouranos, bleeding and defeated, rose into the distance, no longer touching the earth. And as he drifted away, his voice thundered across the heavens.
You think yourselves free, but my curse shall follow you. As you have betrayed your father, so shall your children betray you. The blood you have spilt will never dry.
And so the curse of the sky was spoken. A prophecy of endless rebellion, of sons rising against fathers, of power devouring itself. Cronus and his brothers freed the Cyclopes and the Hecatoncheires from Tartarus. They hailed Cronus as their new king, ruler of heaven and earth. Gaia rejoiced, her laughter echoing through valleys newly formed. And for a time, the world was at peace. It was the age of the Titans, the golden age before the rise of Olympus, the age when rivers spoke, mountains sang, and every corner of the world was alive with divinity. Cronus ruled beside his sister Rhea, wise and nurturing, and together they brought order to the world. But power, even in divine hands, carries a shadow.